Welcome to Vegan O'Clock, our very first installment of my cooking series where I teach you how to make the most delicious and quick, easy vegan meals. They might not always be quick and easy, but they sure will be delicious. This recipe is a quick, easy dinner that you can use with perishables that you most likely already have in storage. I began with opening Del Monte's Southwest Quorn. Unfortunately, the can opener I decided to use was Garbaggio, and it took me like an hour to open that can. I'm exaggerating. It took me longer than it should have. Quorn is known to support digestion health, eye health, and sustained energy. It helps you sustain energy. After I had it open, I poured about half of the can into the pan, and then I let it cook untouched. The way I like to cook is a lot of eyeballing my ingredients. Once I set the Quorn aside, it was time to cook the beans. I took Rosaritas organic refried beans. Pinto beans is a low-fat legume that is loaded with protein, fiber, and essential minerals. Yeah, and I struggled hard getting that can open, but when I did, I ended up only using about half of it. This brand is especially good because they are vegan certified. There is the stamp on their can. And if you look in the ingredients, there is coconut oil inside. I then spent a minute or two smashing it down, and then I added some vegetable oil and mixed it in. I have to confess, I was nibbling on a bit of the Quorn while I waited. Now the best part, Quorn, it's meatless grounds. As a vegan, we need a protein that feels like meat because meat is just such a satisfying texture in our human mouths. So I got this. I originally had it for spaghetti, but I was not in a spaghetti mood. And honestly, they're very flavorless, so I can season them any way that I want. I also got some tortillas from Chipotle. I slightly toasted them by pressing them down on the heating pad with the aluminum. I kept folding the tortilla and repeating this process by putting the cans on top of the aluminum because it needed to be pressed down a little bit. It was a big tortilla, so I had like 3 or 4 sides that were slightly burnt on it, and it was perfect for this meal. When it was all done, I plated it in 3 strips. Left side was the corn, middle was the groundless meat, and the right was the pinto beans. I laid the tortillas on top that were slightly darkened and poured in my favorite hot sauce, and that was the only seasoning I used for the meatless meat. Cluckin Good by Breakfast Republic does the job. Thank you for watching Vegan O'Clock. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and get a chance to try it. It is very delicious. I also used Chipotle chips to dip into it, and oh my gosh, the leftovers for the next morning were delicious. I was out of tortillas, but I used the Chipotle chips, and it was just as delicious.